After my husband passed away, I ended up by myself. I live up here by myself. And, I get lonely. He's a handsome man. Yeah. I always called him my sexy man. I started texting him. We text back and forth, for probably about a month before he ever went to Australia. Gold buying.
Gold buying.
Gold buying.
9 months ago, everything changed with just one message. Vivian was still grieving the loss of her husband. She was not looking for anything extraordinary, just someone to talk to, someone who could fill the silence. Then he appeared, a man who called himself Mark Walker. He sent her a picture on Facebook, confident, charming, almost too perfect. And that is the part no one realizes at first. The picture was real, just not his. It was stolen, taken from someone else's life. Someone who had no idea their face was being used in a lie. But to Vivian, none of that existed. To her, he felt real. He was kind, attentive, always there when she needed someone to talk to. And in a moment of loneliness, that was more than enough. He did not rush. He waited. He built trust message by message, day by day. It felt natural, like any growing relationship. Until things started to change, the tone shifted, the conversations became urgent, and suddenly Walker needed help, a lot of help. Walker told her he made $25 million while there. Then he sent a text claiming the law was after him. He needed money. She sent cash at first, sticking the money between pages of a paperback book and mailing it. What started as concern quickly turned into action. And then into loss.
$10,000 once, $10,000 a second time, $10,000 a third time, and then I did a $20,000 loan from the bank, and then at one point he needed more. And I gave him $30,000. That was my IRA. I've maxed out a Visa card, a Discover card, and I gave him cashed in my life insurance policy, which was $3,000.
Oh my, now we're over $100,000.
Yes.
Over $100,000. Gone. Not stolen in a moment, but taken piece by piece. Through trust, through emotion, through manipulation. And still, it was not enough.
He's still asking you for more money.
Yeah, he's wanting me to do a collateral against my home of $50,000.
Now it was not just money. It was her home, her last sense of security, everything she had left. At this point, you might wonder, why did she not stop? Why did she not see it? But scams like this do not work on logic. They work on hope.
I felt like I had gotten so far invested that I couldn't stop because I wanted to hope that I would get my money back.
How were you going to get your money back?
He was going to give it back to me.
That realization does not come all at once. It comes slowly, painfully. Behind the screen, these scammers follow a pattern, a system designed to break people down emotionally before asking for money. It is not random. It is strategic. And it works far too often because loneliness is powerful.
After my husband passed away, I ended up by myself. I live up here by myself. And, I get lonely.
That is the part scammers exploit. Not weakness, but humanity. It's so one of the most desperate crimes we see, because a lot of times folks that have a little bit of money are often lonely. They do not just steal money. They steal trust, they steal dignity, they steal emotional peace. Experts say if you ever suspect something like this, act immediately. Law enforcement is now paying closer attention because the scale of this problem is massive.
Local law enforcement is starting to look at this more closely because they realize how big a problem it is. They also realize how much money is involved often.
But even with investigations, catching these scammers is incredibly difficult. They hide behind fake identities and fake locations. And once the money is gone, it is usually gone for good. For Vivian, The damage was already done, but her story could still make a difference. Now we recognize that it may be embarrassing for victims to report this type of scam because the shame is very personal. And we thank her for sharing her story so others will not become victims, because silence helps the scammers win. Today, she has taken steps forward.
Contacted her local sheriff's department and state investigators who specialize in elder crime. The romance scam is considered elder abuse under the law, but catching these thieves is difficult. If you are a victim of a romance scam or believe you may have been victimized by an online fraud, file a complaint with the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. That address is here. The website is ic3.gov, or you can call the local FBI field office.
And maybe, just maybe, her story will stop someone else before it is too late. Because the next message, the next friend request, the next perfect person online might not be real. And sometimes the most dangerous scams do not look like scams at all. They look like love. Stories like this are not rare anymore. They are happening every single day, especially to people who are kind, trusting, and often alone. If you have parents, grandparents, or elderly loved ones, talk to them. Warn them. Remind them that not everyone online is who they claim to be. Because one conversation, one message, one moment of trust can change everything. And if something ever feels off, it probably is. Pause, ask questions, and never send money to someone you have never met in real life. Let's protect each other. Let's spread awareness. If the story meant something to you, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe to the channel for more real stories like this. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Your voice might help someone else stay safe.